Hey everybody, thanks for checking out my YouTube channel once again. Do you know what we're going to talk about today? Hammerlocks, the most underrated wrestling move, the Hammerlock. You don't believe me? What I want you to do is in a second hit the pause button, and then you're going to go to YouTube and search Shinya Aoki breaks arm. Do you know what he's going to break his arm from? A Hammerlock. Now hit the pause button right now. Did you go see it? Did you go see him break his arm from the Hammerlock? That's because Hammerlocks are badass. And nobody, really nobody in pro wrestling does them properly. So here's what we're going to do. Neil Melanson is going to show you how to do a properly executed Hammerlock. How to really rip somebody's shoulder out of their socket with a Hammerlock. And then we're going to do Hammerlock the music video, which is me doing Hammerlocks to clown music. That's right, clown music. Because Hammerlocks and clowns go together. Because they're both badass. So check this out.
Hey everybody, I guess you're on Brian Danielson's YouTube channel. I'm his grappling coach, Neil Melanson. This is one of my proteges, Pat Bijin, and that's really how you pronounce it. We're going to go over the Hammerlock and the use of it, and actually submission grappling, and then Brian's going to show how we actually apply it maybe in a kind of a grappling fight situation. Okay, the Hammerlock's a very old submission, very common in amateur wrestling. People use the Hammerlock a lot of times to either reverse position or whatever, but they get called for actually a foul for a potentially dangerous hold if they bend the arm past 90 degrees. And the reason for that is because once that starts to get bent, the joints that are involved in that motion will start to get taxed and eventually break. And it's a pretty powerful lock. The problem with it is a lot of people that try to do Hammerlocks in grappling, they don't control the body very well, and the guys roll out. That's why I remember when I did law enforcement, guys would try to do Hammerlock grips to try to handcuff you, but they wouldn't have good control of the body. You could actually just kind of roll out of it, and that was a big problem. So we're going to go over that problem and how we fix that. Okay, so to keep it simple, I'm just going to pat flat on the mat here on his belly. Okay, now we're going to work off a one-on-one here. This is just me monkey gripping his forearm. Okay, I want to face the other way so you get toward it. Okay, a lot of times when this happens, Pat's hand is going to be inside his belly because he doesn't want me to rip it out. So I'm going to try to do is I'm going to put all my weight against my forearm on the back of his tricep to get him pinned. And I'm going to shift my hips so I can rip the arm out. So I have my one-on-one here. Okay, Pat's hiding it. He doesn't want me to get it out to crank him. So what I do is I start to drape, keep it short, and I get my forearm on the back of his shoulder. Now I'm going to use my body weight. I'm not going to be on my knees. I'd be here. Now from this position, I move my hips up, and I back step. Now, see how my butt is off the ground? This is important. If my butt's on the ground, he can actually roll out pretty easily. This is the problem, like I said, about law enforcement. The guys would be like this, trying to handcuff somebody, and the guy just rolls out. When I'm here, my weight is on his shoulder. He's very uncomfortable. My shoulder is actually on his back. I got a nice wide base. I'm very strong here, and he doesn't have a lot of positions he can go to. He's in a bad spot. Now his hand is still inside. I use my free hand to reach in and rip it out. Now you can just kind of grab his wrist or reach in through and grab his fingers. And what I'm going to do once I get it is toss it out of his body, pulling it out, popping it out. Now from here, I can start to bring it up his back. Now I don't like to necessarily finish always here, because sometimes I worry about not having enough pressure to break it. So what I'll do, once I get it here, it's already tapping there, I can start to walk my hips in. But I don't want my knees on the ground. I want to keep my hips forward and start to drive his hand towards his head and away from his body. Up. That's it. Not a lot of motion, because once I get the arm out here, all the pressure on his body doesn't allow his body to naturally adjust away from the crank. A lot of times you guys get a shoulder submission, you start submitting the guy, he starts moving his butt. What happens, you have to keep cranking it because he's kind of moving with the crank. When I have him pinned like this, he can't really move with the crank. So now I don't have to move it too much because the joint goes straight to the joint and it gets taxed right away. As soon as I get that one-on-one, Boom. Here, hip in line with the shoulder, all my weight on his arm and his upper back. Rip it out, up, and finish. A lot of times this is good enough. Or here, up towards his back and away from his body, using my legs, not coming here. Unless, I don't like one of my knees there. There's a way to do it, but I think it's a little too easy to counter. I'll show it one more time. I get the one-on-one. Get off my knees. Forearm against the back of his tricep. Step. If I need to, get the extra arm to rip it out. Up his back. He's already tapping. If I need to switch, keep the weight on his back and crank. And that's Hammerlock finish.
Mr. Wonderful.